Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our daily word. This morning, it's Monday morning, a new week. We begin a new week together after taking a few days off last week. I just needed a break, and so I decided to take off those few days last week. So hopefully, you've chosen to rejoin me in our daily word. It's going to be a hot week, so hope you find a way to be cool and stay safe in this heat. I'm going to place flame to my Christ candle. Inviting the presence of the Holy Spirit. So I invite you to do that as well. I've chosen for our text today, Matthew 13:31 through 32. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all the seeds. But when it is grown, it is greater than the herbs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and nest in its branches. I'm not preaching this Sunday. I'm doing children's church this Sunday, but I started working this morning on next Sunday's sermon, the 12th. Started working on that sermon early this morning, and it's part of this Matthew conversation. But the image that Jesus talks about, these parables, is rather a mundane scene, right? A man, a field, a seed so small that it's barely visible. You've seen mustard seeds. I think about carrot seeds. You know, they are so small, and you gotta thin them out. But Jesus says this mundane scene is what the kingdom of heaven is like. I don't believe that the kingdom of heaven is some far off place. That Jesus talked about the kingdom of heaven being in the here and now. That the kingdom of heaven is where we are, and we're supposed to work on it. It's supposed to be part of it. It's supposed to, make a difference with how we live. Jesus says this tiny mustard seed can erupt and reach for the clouds, growing to 3 times the average height of a human being, 5, 10, so 15 or 20 plus feet, boasting bushy branches that are large enough to house a homeless flock of birds. And what begins minutely ends massively. And I think about this. God does uncommon works through common deeds. And here's the thing about it. The kingdom of heaven doesn't always announce itself. The most ordinary things, a seed, a field, a common deed, can grow beyond anything that we expected. I think sometimes we sell ourselves short in thinking that what we do doesn't matter, that it doesn't make a difference in the world. I think this parable reminds us that even a small hidden work of God moving in us can change the small space around us, can change our neighborhood, can change our community. I was looking yesterday, every Sunday people take pictures. Kelsey does, Lori does, Diane does, and they send them to me, and I always post on Sunday afternoon. I try to anyway, pictures from worship and children's church and whatever else is going on. And I posted those pictures yesterday, and I went back to look at them, and there were some pictures of the passing of the peace. We hadn't done it for a while because of flu season, but now we're back to doing it. And it's a conglomeration of folks. But if you have the chance, if you are able to go see them, go look at those pictures. What I see there is this mustard seed thing. It's a handshake. It's a hug. It's a really quick conversation with smiles on somebody's face. I look at that and I think that's a tiny mustard seed that's being planted in the life of the person being hugged, or the hand being shaked, or the quick conversation being had. And it grows into something that's amazing. And I always wonder, I see all that happening. And I watch folks and hear the conversations. And then afterwards, after church, it's the same thing. The narthex gets crowded again. And I selfishly, I know, I look at it from my own personal perspective, but I think, how could people not want to come to church and see that and be part of that? I know the sermon may not be very good some days. I get that. We sing songs that y'all don't like sometimes, or no. I get that. But way beyond that, how do people not want to come and be a part of this amazing thing, this mustard seed of faith that we plant in each other's lives, that grows into this amazing thing that reaches for the heavens? I just looked at those pictures again this morning and marveled at what I saw, and I feel like, wow, I'm so blessed to be a part of that. And it's what the kingdom of heaven is like. It's an amazing gift. And so we all have abilities, and we're all strong enough to do what God calls us to do, and we have the ability to plant those tiny mustard seeds that make a difference in the world. So that's our daily word for today, this Monday morning. A reminder, tomorrow morning is Tuesday. It's Coffee with the Pastor, so I will be late, probably be 11:30 before the daily word happens tomorrow, just to remind you of that Tuesday coming up. So know of God's love that surrounds you, know of my love for you, and I will see you tomorrow morning about 11:30. Have a great day.